Hey guys, I'm going to talk to you about the Hugo Boss The Collection fragrances. I was going to say The Collection fragrances, but these are the Hugo Boss The Collection fragrances. And they launched in 2021, and I got my first bottle. I bought it in a Dubai duty-free magnetic musk. What an amazing fragrance it is. I've been buying fragrances from a few discounters here and there. I ended up buying Confident Oud, which I'll let you know about. Ended up buying Elegant Vetiver, Sensual Geranium, and finally Enigmatic Saffiano. So I'm going to do a rundown on these fragrances, but also, just before I went to China, I noticed that there was a bunch of, actually 4 of the fragrances from the collection at the discounters for around $55 to $60. So I picked those up and they were delivered by the time I got, no, they just delivered a few days ago actually. There's Courageous Rose. It's a tester, by the way. I bought that. Exhilarating Vanilla. We've got Passionate Chypre, and then we've got Vigorous Cologne. So these shipped. It took a long time for them to come, about 3 weeks, maybe a little over 3 weeks. And sadly, some of them are already out of stock. I wanted to let you know, but I haven't smelled these at all. These are fairly, well, no, they're not all new fragrances, but some of them are. And again, I haven't got my nose on them. If I did get my nose on some of them that are actually a little bit older than 1 or 2 of these, then I completely have forgotten. So I'm going to let you know about the new fragrances, first time on camera smelling, and then tell you about the rest of the collection, if you can get your notes on them and or buy them. Like, most importantly, out of the ones that I've already smelled, 2 best are Magnetic Musk and Sensual Geranium. Both of those are great. The other 3 are not that good, and I'll let you know the details. But as I said, these are going to be first impressions. So these are fairly new. I spent around $200 for 4 of these. Normally this collection sells for around $300. So these were a great deal. The one that I'm really, really looking forward to smelling is the Exhilarating Vanilla. And so I haven't got my nose on that yet, but let's start with Passionate, well, no, that's not the right one. Which one is the first one we're going to smell? Courageous Rose, that's what I should say. So in alphabetical order, Courageous Rose. This is created by Michel Almairac and Steve Guo. They are perfumers at Robertet. This is a 2022 launch. So most likely I must have got my nose on this because it was in 2023 that I bought Magnetic Musk, and Magnetic Musk was launched in 2023. But maybe this one didn't excite me at the time, who knows? But I bought this for $55, 100 ml, 100 ml bottle. Eau de Parfum concentration. It has notes of rose, incense, sandalwood, geranium, saffron, bergamot, nutmeg, papyrus, and patchouli. So here's the bottle. Yeah. This says Hugo, I guess it says Boss and Hugo Boss on the bottom. This one just says Boss. It doesn't say Hugo Boss. Maybe they changed the label. But if you're a fan of this collection, let me know what your thoughts are. Have you sampled the fragrances? So Courageous Rose. I do enjoy Michel Almairac's fragrances. He does all of the Brioni men's collection of fragrances, and I enjoy those quite a bit. First impression's not bad. It's definitely started off with a kind of an aromatic kick, herbal kind of fresh kick. Then eventually the jamminess of the rose is opening up. Behind it all also, I'm smelling a little bit of that papyrus, the patchouli, the earthiness, and the papyrus gives me a little bit of, well, it's not only the papyrus, it's the saffron as well that's in here. Gives me a little bit of a Middle Eastern vibe. So this one's actually not bad. It's going to require some testing, but it's quite a pleasant smelling rose. Slight smokiness with the incense, but I like the way it started, all that brightness, that kind of aromatic brightness, freshness. The geranium is also quite prominent in this. The geranium does support the rose. The geranium has a rosy side, but for sure it's more herbal. And I think that's what gave me that kind of a fresh, invigorating herbal aromatic start up top. Quite lovely, actually. I've been kind of bored of rose. There's some notes that I really, really, really enjoyed when I first got into the hobby. I've been quite bored of it. But this one's actually quite lovely. Let me know if you're a fan of Courageous Rose. Add a comment below. So we'll come back to this. I'll do a ranking of the list, by the way, just by smells. The other 5 I have worn quite a bit. with Magnetic Musk being my favorite. But this next one is the one that I've really been looking forward to, Exhilarating Vanilla. I believe the Courageous Rose is still selling and I have it linked. Sadly, the Exhilarating Vanilla is not. It's it's just completely out of stock. At $55, I can see why this one completely ran out of stock. It's interesting how they did the label on this one. They've got the Hugo Boss Under the Boss, and with this one, they don't have the Hugo Boss Under the Boss. Same thing with the Courageous Rose, which is weird. Anyway, I hope I don't have a fake. All right, so Exhilarating Vanilla is created by Ane Ayo. It's a Firmenich perfumer. This is considered an amber vanilla fragrance. This also launched in 2025, so it's a fairly new fragrance. And it has notes of vanilla, smoke, and woody notes. As I said, this is the one I've been looking forward to. The perfumer Ane Ayo, I smelled several fragrances of hers that I really liked. She did a fragrance for Zara that is sort of inspired by Dior Homme Intense, Dior Homme Parfum that I really liked. But the one I really liked from hers was Noctambule from Givenchy in their upper end collection. So I do enjoy some of her work. And I've actually stumbled onto some other fragrances that she's done that I've enjoyed. So I'm smelling the fragrance. I'm getting more of like a butterscotchy smoky effect. Yeah, it's a sweet. It's for sure balsamic and resinous. I first thought when I was gonna, smell this first, I thought it might be kind of baby cat-esque. I wouldn't say that. This is more like you're cooking with vanilla and it's starting to burn. It's got quite a kind of a almost charred smoky effect happening, which kind of, you heat the vanilla enough, it kind of turns it into like a smoky molasses. So it's giving me those kind of vibes. It's quite balsamic. Let's see. I'm going to spray this one on because I'm a vanilla lover and let's see how it is. It kind of reminds me a little bit of Atelier Materi's Vanille Carbone, but I haven't smelled it for a while, so I have to come back and sample it and compare side by side with this. The molassesy thing is kind of giving me a little bit of a licorice kind of a vibe. It's actually a bit better on skin. Not as dark and smoky on the strip. That's enjoyable. Not a wow for me, but enjoyable. It's wearable. Same thing with the Courageous Rose. All right, yeah, we'll come back to this. This is Exhilarating Vanilla. I don't know about that, if it's an Exhilarating Vanilla. I think they've run out of names for fragrances. So some of the names sometimes are not like they're not telling me what the fragrance is all about. This is kind of dark and smoky and balsamic, so it doesn't mean exhilarating to me, but then again, that's my interpretation of exhilarating. Exhilarating should be something more airy and breezy. This is just, like I said, dark, smoky, molassesy, even to the point of something giving me like licoricey vibes. Then also a bit leathery as well. The smokiness is giving me some leathery vibes. Anyway, let me know if you've sampled Exhilarating Vanilla from Hugo Boss's The Collection. So it's obvious that the 4 that I bought, the vanilla sells out the fastest because vanilla is so popular. It's a great, note, especially now with the autumn and soon winter. Sorry, I was getting a phone call. Soon with the winter. And it's obvious it sells out. But the other 3 are still selling. This is Passionate Chypre next. And Passionate Chypre is 100 ml for $58. I don't understand why this one is more expensive, but it is. Although the next one after this is also more expensive. This is Passionate Chypre, I should say, not Passion Chypre. This is it right here. This was a 2023 launch. It's created by Fabrice Pellegrin. It features notes of moss, patchouli, black cherry, clearwood, which is a type of patchouli, bergamot, orange, cetalox, and iris. So cetalox is a Firmenich proprietary ingredient, I believe. So if they don't list the name of the perfumer and you don't know if the perfumer is from Firmenich, you can kind of assume that the perfumer is with Firmenich, because Fabrice Pellegrin is. Wow, okay, this one, whoa, I'm smelling a lot of cetalox here. Cetalox is kind of like an ambroxan, really, really strong. And I was hoping that this would be more about the moss and the patchouli and how it works with the black cherry rather than an overdose of Cetalox. Because I sprayed this on and I'm getting like traces of earthy, mossy, and slightly fruity notes, but the Cetalox is overpowering here. In fact, wow, this is just like a Cetalox bomb. Woo! Anybody not into Ambroxan or Cetalox is not going to like this. This is super strong. I think it's eventually kind of developing with the mossiness and the earthiness of the patchouli. What were they thinking when they launched this fragrance? This is, I'm not even experiencing a Chypre style here. Most likely this will develop into that on the skin. Let me spray some on skin. I don't know. I think this one, the Cetalox, the Ambroxan qualities is so strong that it's kind of covering up the other notes, at least on my skin. And from what I smelled here, I thought black cherry, it's going to be a bit tart. The moss is going to be kind of sexy with the patchouli. This is a bit of a dud. But I think anybody that's into Ambroxan, overdose of it, might like this. I know it's like a very polarizing note, Ambroxan. Some people really hate it and a lot of people really love it. So if you are the Ambroxan lover, might try Passionate Chypre from the house of Hugo Boss. Also, I'm not understanding the black label versus the silver label. If anybody knows, do let me know. The Boss fragrances are distributed under Coty, by the way, if you did not know. And then the last one is Vigorous Cologne. This is another one that I've been really curious about. And colognes going into these more expensive collections is a weird idea. But sometimes they make them really great. And especially since this is created by Yann Vasnier, I'm really looking forward to this. But this is one of the earlier fragrances. It's a 2021. This is considered a citrus Chypre. And this is Yann Vasnier. Currently 100 ml is $58. And it features notes of bergamot, patchouli, orange blossom, mandarin, moss, and rosemary. I guess once they add the moss note, it instantly becomes the Chypre. Is that what they're doing here? Is it really a Chypre? The Chanel Pour Monsieur is a citrus Chypre. YSL Pour Homme is a citrus Chypre. And I'm smelling this. This is lovely. Very zingy, spicy, aromatic, juicy citruses. There's a major spice about it. It's green as well. This is not the right season for this, but what I like about this one, it's got quite a bit of zing. The zing comes with spice as well. And of course, lots of aromatic touches. It's quite earthy. That's what I like about it. Wow. I would say this might be kind of paying tribute to some of the classic, more masculine leaning citrus Chypres. It's a unisex offering. The entire collection is unisex. This to me does lean a bit masculine, but a woman should be able to totally pull this off. It's citruses in the end with earthy notes, herbs, and of course, mossy notes. That's lovely. I'm going to put that one on this side. Right here. Ooh, I like that one. This is very invigorating. It's even better on skin. Like almost like the rind of a citrus fruit. A bitter rind. That's definitely worth it. I know we're going into winter, but come spring, summer, Vigorous Cologne. I would say it's nicely named Vigorous Cologne. Really lovely. I don't know what the performances of this is going to be, but that's probably moderate, not necessarily. I mean, none of these fragrances I consider beast mode, and the ones that I've worn quite a bit of, I wouldn't consider beast mode as well. But between the 4 fragrances, I would say the dud is Passionate Chypre. That is a major dud. For me, out of the 4, my favorite is the Vigorous Cologne. I like those kind of fragrances. I like the citrus Chypres. The Exhilarating Vanilla is nice. The Courageous Rose is also nice, but they weren't wows. But, you know, they're nice. They're nice. But for me, the winner is Vigorous Cologne. There you go. So let's talk about the rest of the collection. All right, the first fragrance, we're doing this in alphabetical order, is Confident Oud. So this is the type of presentation that these fragrances come in. Of course, as I said, I bought testers of these, the ones that we just spoke about. And then the Sensual Geranium also, I don't have a case for it like this because it was also a tester. It's a Dominique Ropion creation, just like Courageous Rose and Exhilarating Vanilla. It's pleasant. It's not a super wow for me. So I think it's a matter of taste, but it's a Dominique Ropion creation. It's currently 100 ml for $75. This is discontinued permanently, according to Wiki Parfum, and it has notes of oud, gaiac wood, bran, cedarwood, black pepper. In the end, it's a pleasant oud, you know? Dominique Ropion's probably done tons of oud. Tons. This one gives me like a mulled wine effect. I don't know if it's the bran that's in here. There's a bran note, but for some reason I'm getting like a fermented wine, mulled wine kind of an effect against the oud that's in here. It's a Western oud. And again, it's not a wow for me. It's pleasant. It's enjoyable with access to a ton of different fragrances. I wouldn't pull for this, but you know, maybe you guys might like it. What are your thoughts? Let me know. That's Hugo Boss's Confident Oud, now permanently discontinued. I paid over $100 for this. It's now marked down to $75. And then we've got Elegant Vetiver. This one's also discontinued. Sadly, these, I guess, are not really doing well. And also, these were never really launched at any stores nearby here. Like I said, I bought Magnetic Musk at the Dubai Duty Free. And the rest of these were bought online at discounters. I never saw them at like Neiman Marcus, Bloomingdale's, not even Nordstrom or Saks or Macy's even. But Elegant Vetiver is created by Sophie Labbe. It's a slightly nutty vetiver fragrance. This came out in 2021, and it's considered a woody fragrance featuring vetiver, cistus labdanum, pistachio, cashmeran, juniper berries. To me, this one's more pleasant, more enjoyable than the Confident Oud. I think a vetiver lover will appreciate this one. There's a greenness about it and slight nuttiness and also creaminess here. It's sweet. I like this one. I like it a lot more than the Confident Oud. There's a slight smokiness in there as well. Slight. And I think that's coming from the vetiver note. But really lovely. I do like how the pistachio contrasts with the vetiver. And vetiver has that kind of greenness to it. Same thing with the pistachio. Together they work. They really do. It's not the first time I'm experiencing nutty notes with vetiver. They've done nutty notes with vetiver quite a bit. But this is quite lovely. Elegant Vetiver. Let me know if you're a fan of that. Have you sampled it? So we've got 3 more fragrances to talk about. I think this next one, it was a limited edition release, launched last year in 2024, created by Dominique Ropion and Mayab McCurtain. So it's called Enigmatic Saffiano. So I took a chance and blind bought. All of these were bought blind except for the Magnetic Musk. So these are all blind buys. Do I keep them? Do I sell them? Move on from them? I usually end up keeping a lot of bottles here because people come in for sniff sessions. But this one did not work well for me at all. So this features notes of leather, iris, marine notes, musk. Yeah, I should look up notes, right? Marine notes and leather together. What a weird combo, right? Oh, yeah, this one's weird. I think it smells a little better than the first or second time I've smelled it. The leather and the marine notes together, what a contrast. What have they done? Who is managing the creation of these fragrances? I mean, whose ideas are they? Do they know what they're doing? Why would they put marine notes and leather together? I don't know. Not very pleasant to me. It's got a very sour quality about it that's quite uninviting. I mean, leather can be sour on its own. And for me, marine notes also is a weirdly sour. Just smells like sour slush. Yeah, this is pretty bad, unfortunately. Dominique Ropion and Mayab McCurtain, they're taking direction from somebody putting together the fragrances for this collection. I'm glad it was a limited edition. The box does say limited edition at the bottom there. So, yeah. I don't remember how much I paid for this, but this is a dud. I do have to say it smells a bit better than the first and second time I sampled it. I believe I featured this in a haul video. You can search the channel for Enigmatic Saffiano, but that was a complete dud for me. Let me know if you've sampled that one. And then we're going to talk about Magnetic Musk, one of the best from the line and the best overall. So good. So good. So this is created by Michel Girard, and it features notes of beeswax, iris, tonka beans, clary sage, musk, sandalwood. It's super sexy. It's powdery. It's honeyed. It's almost like a fusion of that fragrance from Zoologist Perfumes called Bee with a Dior Homme Intense like DNA. Pre-2025, by the way. Oh, that combo is super yummy because I love both of those fragrances. This is super sexy, super yummy. I love it. And again, it's not super beast mode, and you kind of come to expect fragrances that come from the designers, mass market releases, even though these are like the higher end collections of these designers. They're not going to give you like these super potent beastly fragrances. But I think overall, this fragrance is super amazing. If I had to pick number one favorite, it's this one. This one's never ended up at the discounters. This one I bought at the Dubai duty free, as I said. I absolutely love this. If you can get your hands on it and you like my taste, you're going to love it. Just keeping in mind, I've recommended quite a bit of potent fragrances, extracts, and parfum concentrations. This is not going to act like that. I wouldn't say it's super wimpy, but as a smell, it's one of the best. Anyway, Magnetic Musk from the house of Boss, Hugo Boss. Super amazing from the collection. And last but not least, it's Sensual Geranium, launched in 2022. Did I mention when the Magnetic Musk was 2023, but Sensual Geranium 2022? It's considered an aromatic fougere and is created by Benoit Lepouza. He's a Gévaudan perfumer, same as the Vigorous Cologne fragrance. The perfumer there is Yann Vasnier. And this is the perfumer that created Angel's Share as well. So features notes of benzoin, geranium, grapefruit, cinnamon, saffron, amber, leather, pomegranate, and ambrette. So it's an aromatic fougere. I would call it more of an amber fougere because it does get ambery and resinous in the dry down. But it's a fougere focusing on the geranium rather than lavender. And typically you'll find geranium in a lot of fougeres, but sometimes not. And there are some light rosy nuances here as well from the geranium. So you do experience some rosiness. If you've ever experienced Rose and Queer from Frederic Malle, I'm not saying that's a fougere, but you have the geranium, and Jean-Claude Elena has brought out the rosy touches of the geranium, which you kind of get here as well. There's a little bit of a fruitiness in this as well, so it does get a little fruity and musky. I think this is really great, really, really lovely. I would put that, let's see, the ranking. Number one, and I don't have everything here. From what I have, number one's gotta be Magnetic Musk. It's gotta be. I would put Sensual Geranium at number two. Both of those are really great. And then I would put Vigorous Cologne at number three. And then Elegant Vetiver at number four. Then I would put Exhilarating Vanilla. And then I would put Courageous Rose. And I'm not going to rank the rest. So I'm leaving off the list Enigmatic Saffiano, Confident Oud, and also Passionate Chypre. This would never, I don't even know why they approved this fragrance. I don't get it. I don't know. And then the same thing with this Enigmatic Saffiano. Why did they approve that? Weird. With Confident Oud, it just don't click with it as much. But anyway, those are my thoughts on this collection. If they end up at the discounters, I will let you guys know to snatch them up. But I think the ones you really should hunt down are the first three: a Magnetic Musk, Sensual Geranium, and Vigorous Cologne. Maybe even the Elegant Vetiver, because I did buy those. Everything was bought at the discounters except for the Magnetic Musk, which I said. Anyway, let me know your thoughts on this collection. Do add a comment below what your thoughts are, if you have any of them. I had posted a short story about a YouTube short about this fragrance, Magnetic Musk, 2 years ago, 2 years ago. And I know it got a lot of views because people were really curious about it. So if you watched that video, did you end up buying a bottle? If you were able to find this collection somewhere in the USA, let me know. I haven't seen it in the USA. In fact, I saw it maybe in China once, for sure in the Dubai airport, maybe once in Europe somewhere as well. And that's about it. I haven't seen it anywhere else. Everything else was just guessing. And again, all of these were blind buys except for Magnetic Musk. So do let me know if you have any of them. Which of them sounds the best to you if you don't own any of them. Do add a comment below. And thanks so much for watching today, guys. If you have any questions or comments, list below. Please like the video, please share it, and I'll be back with more videos very soon. Have a good one. Bye-bye.